Hello, this is Gregory Morton.
And Samantha from Apple Incorporates text-to-audio computer voice. Welcome to my final project for the Westmoreland County Community College course MED 270, which is entitled Advanced Editing.
If you thought the Penguins were Pittsburgh's first and only National Hockey League or NHL club, you're wrong. Can you guess the name? If you're stuck, here's a hint. It matched that of the Steel City's Major League Baseball team. In fact, the NHL Pirates were most notable for having black and gold jerseys before any other Pittsburgh sports team. On the ice, the team introduced a coaching strategy that's now widespread in ice hockey. Thanks to these two innovations, the NHL Pirates' legacy can still be felt today. And, by the way, the club had a mixed history of success. For the remainder of this film, you'll travel back in time to learn about a little-known and long-forgotten chapter of Pittsburgh's sporting history.
Root, root, root for our home team, a new pirate generation, everybody shout, let's go Pirates!
In 1925, the city of Pittsburgh received its first NHL club. It would call Duquesne Gardens home, and owner James Callahan selected the name Pittsburgh Pirates after the city's baseball team. Callahan's baseball counterpart, Barney Dreyfuss, allowed the hockey team to use the name. The NHL added two clubs that year, Pittsburgh and the New York City Americans. According to the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, the original Ottawa Senators rescinded their initial disapproval to Pittsburgh's franchise. The Post-Gazette also reports the bulk of the soon-to-be NHL Pirate roster had previously been amateur players for the Yellow Jackets. However, NHL President Frank Calder placed a franchise in the Steel City to prevent a rival league from doing the same.
Over to me, the computer voice. PittsburghHockey.net's reporter Paul Christman mentions that the Pittsburgh Press enumerated a few rule differences between amateur and professional hockey. For example, a regulation NHL period was, and still is, 20 minutes in duration. Duquesne Gardens would also have its originally large ice rink shortened to comply with NHL regulations. Back to Gregory.
In the NHL Pirates' first season, they went 19-16-1 in 36 games. The Pirates won their first game against the Boston Bruins on November 26, 1925. Defenseman/captain Lionel Conacher scored the team's first goal. 6 days later, Pittsburgh's first ever NHL home game saw a 2-1 overtime loss to the New York Americans, the Pirates' 1925 expansion partner. The aforementioned regular season record earned the NHL Pirates a playoff spot, but lost the 2-game series with the Montreal Maroons 6-4. At the time, a Stanley Cup playoff series consisted of 2 games. The winner was whichever team scored the most total goals.
Over to me, the computer voice. In 1926 to 1927, the NHL Pirates finished the regular season with 15 wins, 26 losses, and 3 ties. They ranked 4th in the American Division. Due to financial problems, Conacher was traded to the New York Americans after earning a then-record $7,500 salary the previous season. Bob McKenzie's book Century of Hockey reports that each NHL franchise had been limited to $35,000. Conacher's individual salary had taken up over 20% of the cap. The transaction resulted in the NHL Pirates only receiving $2,000 in cash and aging veteran Charlie Langlois. Back to Gregory.
The 1927-28 season saw the NHL Pirates make the playoffs for the second and final time in their existence. With a 19-17-8 record, the team finished 3rd in the American Division and would face the New York Rangers in the postseason. Unfortunately, the NHL Pirates lost the 2-game series, 6-4.
Over to me, the computer voice. While the NHL Pirates qualified for the playoffs in 2 of their first 3 seasons, they went downhill from there. In both playoff campaigns, the NHL Pirates had lost to the eventual Stanley Cup champion. Under the new ownership of legendary boxer Benny Leonard and prohibition criminal William Vincent Big Bill Dwyer, the NHL Pirates finished toward the bottom of the standings in both the 1928-1929 and 1929-1930 seasons. PittsburghHockey.net mentions that Dwyer had been the NHL Pirates' real owner, even though he also owned the New York Americans. Leonard, by contrast, was thought to be the man behind the NHL Pirates. After a pair of dismal seasons, coupled with bankruptcy, the team would move to Philadelphia. The relocation did not work. The newly renamed Quakers were horrible both on and off the ice during the 1930-1931 season. It would be the team's only season in the Pennsylvania East. The Pirates/Quakers originally intended to return to Pittsburgh with a new arena. It never came, so the team ceased operations completely. Back to Gregory.
Several sources mention that the NHL Pirates were most notable for introducing line changes to the game. For those unfamiliar with ice hockey, Wikipedia states that a line change is an established pattern of player substitutions. Lines involve a group of players who play shifts, which are stints of on-ice participation. Unlike in many other sports, ice hockey substitutions are legal while play is active as well as during stoppages. Player coach Odie Cleghorn introduced the practice, deviating from the convention of the day. Before that, a starting lineup would be nominated and players stayed on the ice until fatigued. Under Cleghorn's system, PittsburghHockey.net mentions that line changes were only applicable to forwards but not defensemen.
Over to me, the computer voice. Who was the first Pittsburgh sports team to wear black and gold uniforms? The NHL Pirates would correctly answer this trivia question. The team's Wikipedia article mentions that they were Pittsburgh's only team to be dressed in those colors. Most of Pittsburgh's future sports teams would also use the black and gold theme. Much later, PittsburghHockey.net and Wikipedia mention that the Penguins would attribute the 1920s NHL Pirates when the former club changed its colors to black and gold. Back to Gregory.
Back on ice, PittsburghHockey.net says that the NHL Pirates' first sweaters featured the city of Pittsburgh's coat of arms on the sleeves. The term sweater is ice hockey's archaic name for jersey. In 1928, PittsburghHockey.net mentions that the club's jerseys were switched to alternating gold and blue horizontal stripes with the word Pirates written on the front. The following year, another color change occurred, this time to what PittsburghHockey.net called black and orange.
Over to me, the computer voice. The NHL Pirates played their home games at Duquesne Gardens. According to PittsburghHockey.net and Wikipedia, the arena had originally been built as a trolley barn, yet it was best known as an ice hockey venue. As the Pirates would soon find out, the Gardens' glorious early days were over. Large, brand new arenas in cities such as Montreal and New York City were flourishing. In contrast, the Gardens was antiquated and seated only 5,000 spectators for hockey games. As a result, the NHL Pirates didn't make much money. The Gardens was located at the intersection of North Craig Street and 5th Avenue in Oakland, which is a Pittsburgh neighborhood. Back to Gregory.
Sports teams, of course, are not complete without players. PittsburghHockey.net enumerates all of the 33 players who wore an NHL Pirates sweater. Only 5 would last the team's entire existence in Pittsburgh. Milks was the club's leading scorer in both goals and points, as well as the career leader in games played. Drury recorded the most penalty minutes of any Pittsburgh NHL Pirate. Moreover, goaltender Roy Waters and skaters Frank Frederickson, Mickey McKay, and the aforementioned Lionel Conacher enumerate the future Hockey Hall of Fame inductees who played for Pittsburgh's original NHL team. This has been an amazing story about the NHL Pirates. As you learned, the team brought NHL hockey to Pittsburgh and the city's official colors, which are black and gold, to the sporting arena. The team also revolutionized ice hockey's gameplay by changing the way substitutions are done. Although the NHL Pirates only existed for 5 seasons and had a history of mixed success, the team played a major role in Pittsburgh sports history.
I hope you enjoyed this time machine adventure about Pittsburgh's first, albeit unheralded, NHL team. Together with Gregory Morton, thank you for watching the film.
All the way, yes, the Bucs are going all the way.